All right, we're going to call this meeting to order at 6:30. Charlene, do you want to start with roll call?
Doug Thompson.
I am here.
Katie Knudsen.
Here.
Richard Anthony.
Here.
Margot Collins.
Here.
Chuck Fowler.
Here.
Larry Gladhill.
Present.
Holly Patterson.
Yes, I'm here.
Tyler Shorman.
Here.
Jay's excused. Yes.
Yes.
That's it.
You didn't call
it.
Nolan. You didn't call Nolan.
You can call Nolan.
Nolan, did I leave you off? I marked
I'm
you off.
not here,
Do
actually.
this again. Nolan, are you here?
I'm at a Cinco de Mayo party, drinking a margarita.
We'll see.
He was under the
I am
desk.
here.
We'll see. All right, let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Chuck, you want to lead us? Sure.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Thank you, Charlene, for the minutes. They're very detailed. We've had several meetings that we need to cover.
I move to accept the minutes from January 13, 2026.
I'll second that.
Thank you, Mr. Anthony. Second from Tyler. Do we have any further discussion or edits on the minutes? All right, all in favor of the minutes as proposed?
Aye.
Any abstained?
Abstain.
Any in favor? Any opposed? I'm sorry. Okay.
2 abstentions.
Charlene got that. All right, so the next thing on the agenda is the reorganization. The first meeting of the year, we select a new chair, vice chair, and subcommittees. So the first thing we need to attend to is appointing a chair for the upcoming budget season, not tax season.
I move to nominate Nolan Pelletier as chair.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
Okay. Do we have any other nominations?
I nominate Doug Thompson.
Do we have any seconds?
Second.
Richard, do you want to speak on why you nominate Mr. Pelletier?
Well, I guess we'll just go down the list. I think we, should have a diversity of views and leadership, and also, if the chairmanship's not contested, if it's not contested, I could understand having somebody, repeated iterations of the same chair. But if it's not, but if it is contested, then I think there's some benefit to having a rotating chairmanship. Just so that, to build up a bench with respect to budget committee members. I mean, all of us at one point or another might be called to serve as a chair, and it's experience that you should have while doing it. Right. So I see benefit in that, and I think also it should be noted that the 2026 budget. All the non-discretionary, all the discretionary spending articles didn't pass. All right. And I think that also resonates the same with the school board. Right. So I think, it's not invalid to draw a conclusion that people of Plastow want not ever increasing budgets. And I think Nolan Pelletier has demonstrated consistently that he's about fiscal responsibility, accountability, and as such, we should probably entertain new leadership in that sense.
Okay.
So.
Thank you. Holly, you seconded it.
I did.
Would you like to speak?
Yes, please.
Okay, go ahead.
Much like the rotation that happens on a board of selectmen.
Yep.
Every year the chair and the vice chair rotates. If there are people who don't want it, that's one thing. But building a bench and making sure that there are others that are able to step in and assume the role has a tremendous value to our community. one's opinion one way or the other on specific budget items, in my mind, is irrelevant. We're all here to serve the people of the town, and there should be diversity in leadership.
Nolan, do you want to speak?
Yes, I would like to speak.
Okay.
Yeah, I accept the nomination, first of all. And why I would want to be chair is, obviously last year was my first year on budget committee. I saw a lot of what I felt were shortcomings with the procedure. We didn't have information in a timely manner. We didn't have the information we needed. This happened quite often. It actually came up. I know some of the other people said this at candidates night. If I was chair, what I would really aim to do is bring in the department heads and work on the budget prior to it coming to us at the end of the year. So I would see, if I'm chair, if you don't want to do actual work until the end of the season, don't vote for me. But if you want to actually work on the budget on a consistent basis and really get into it and dig into it and chew through those numbers and have some consistent meeting before the end of the season, vote for me. So whether or not you agree with my take on things, what I want to see is information. I want it to I want it to be presented to us in a timely manner. I want us to be able to digest it and then have a conversation about it. So, that I feel that didn't happen last year, and I want it to happen this year. So if you like that vision, then vote for me.
Right. And Nolan, I'll follow up with, I did appreciate your feedback last year. You had many, many good points. Sometimes getting information is difficult. I did apply.
If I may speak to that, we weren't getting information, and I reached out to department heads, and I was basically chastised for doing so. So, I guess this is my last resort. If I get chastised as doing it as a board member, I'd have to do it as a citizen, which I had to do many times. So, it was. You were actually CC'd on that email, and it came from the town manager. So,
Well, it's a police department, I believe.
correct.
Yep.
Yes.
I don't disagree. No,
And and if I may say, there's nothing in this that states that I can do it as a citizen. I can do it as a board member. I shouldn't be getting emails telling me not to reach out to department heads to get information that we need.
Okay. I just wanted to concur that a lot of your information you shared last year was very helpful to the board. So we did make some changes last year. So I just want to, thank you for your input last year. Katie, do you want to speak to your nomination?
Not much to say other than, actions speak volumes. You've been a good chair the last couple of years. I mean, your job is in doing finances and taxes, and this is your realm.
Tyler, I believe you seconded it? Chuck did. Do you want to speak?
No, I will not speak, because what I will speak is people who put a lot of content. So, but I will speak. I've been watching the meetings, and I think you're doing a great job.
I appreciate that. I appreciate the entire board. I appreciate the feedback. There have to be changes. There were some changes last year that didn't happen the year before. There will be changes going forward as the new chair sees fit. I would like to serve as chair one more year. This is my last year on the budget committee. We have changes to make, so I'm honored if the budget committee votes for me. If they don't vote for me, then I'll be perfectly fine in any capacity the board has for me. So that being said, unless there's any further discussion,
If I could,
of course.
given much to what you just said, and I watched a number of the meetings from home and came into a couple, given the fact that this is your last year as an elected official.
Potentially, I haven't decided if I'm going to run next year or not.
Exactly. But it also gives you a unique opportunity to set the next person or people up for success, rather than have you run with it, and then that talent, if you will, departs if you decide not to run.
Okay.
So,
I appreciate your feedback. No, that's not. Yes, Mr. Anthony.
No, to that point, I think, again, succession management is what we're talking about. It's not necessarily, let's say, a criticism of anyone's previous role as chair. But I mean, again, we want to be able to have individuals that can move into a position, have the experience. And, I mean, I almost see it as that maybe you should be vice chair and sort of be a mentor of some kind to whoever's in
I'm not opposed to
the
whatever the
chair
board-
role.
I'm not opposed to whatever the board wants.
motion?
Huh?
I said, was that a motion?
It'll be when we're talking about vice chairs, sure. But I'm just saying that I think it logically makes sense that you have sort of succession management. If it's your last year, maybe you want to run again. But you could also mentor the person that's in the role of chair,
Okay.
so they get the experience.
I have a question.
Yep.
I just have a question. So Todd, did you go by Larry? Lawrence or Margot, do either of you have interest in learning the role?
I have issues at home that I can't dedicate that kind of
Okay.
time to, but I have enjoyed seeing how all the processes work.
Okay. Lawrence?
I've openly said that I will do what's best for the town. So if people see fit that I need to take a role in leadership, I'm happy to take a role in leadership.
Well, if we followed the role or the role model of the Board of Selectmen where they automatically slot, there's almost like there's a change year over year, isn't there? And that happens in many of our local communities where it's every year they're switching off to help share the burden. You're talking about putting together binders and all of that.
We don't have a set rotation, though. It is more discussion based, but we do see that we
But
think.
everybody is having an
We do have
opportunity to
change, yeah.
learn.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Bill was
So
our
you
chair
would be
for
willing
2 or
to-
3 years.
I mean, I'm happy to also nominate you if you are interested in doing it. Again, I think there needs to be just a change. Just because we need other people to know how to organize, and not that anybody's done a great job. It's not saying anybody's done a bad job.
Right,
At
no,
all.
I think it's succession management.
No, I'm not opposed.
I mean, if you leave after this year, then it's that institutional memory walks out the door with you, right? So maybe we want to have some continuity.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree with any comment that's been said tonight. So Holly, are you making a motion to nominate Lawrence?
Yeah, I will make a motion to nominate Lawrence.
Can we have a second? All right, Chuck has second, Mr. Lawrence as well. Sorry, Lawrence, not Mr. Lawrence.
And I've spoken to my reasons why.
Okay, any other discussion to Mr. Gladhill being nominated as chair before we put it to vote? Larry, do you have anything to say?
I asked what Mr. Gladhill what his vision would be.
Well, I think you mentioned something about the candidates night, right? So I had spent 6 months as a step-in role last year, and then obviously reelected this year. And like yourself, I've seen some gaps in how we operate, and I think we need to get that corrected, particularly with information flow, getting timely budget and having appropriate time in front of the budget, the town heads, and particularly ensuring that the town manager's here, making sure we're getting timely information, making sure we're canceling meetings if people aren't going to be here, right? So there's a lot of operational things that need to be aligned.
And I don't want to put Tyler in front of the train. But I know the Board of
Always in front of the
Selectmen,
train.
I know the Board of Selectmen is working very diligently to get information more timely.
Yes. I will speak with the chair. I have spoke with the chair. The chair is working on more transparency and trying to make sure we get stuff ahead of time. So discussions are being had.
To prevent some of the delays and.
Yeah,
lack of
just to make sure
information
that
we have
we're
now.
trying to do everything we can do and help as selectmen to make sure that information gets there and gets
So you
done.
acknowledge the deficiency last year.
It was slower than we would have liked.
That's
And
all.
I think just to finish off, like one thing, if I was chair, I would envision seeing is I'd like to have all the line item owners come in, and one of the discussion items is what does a 5% reduction look like to their budget, so they can start planning for that, because that's what the people voted for. They voted against the discretionary funds. Obviously, prices are going up. I was quite shocked when I filled up my gas tank this morning, and
Me
we've
too.
got to be cognizant of what
69 a gallon.
our constituents want.
I agree. I think the issue is unless we've seen it, we're not tracking line items appropriately. So I'm not saying that maybe that's a deficiency in getting us the information, but if we're not tracking line items at a more finite level, we have larger problems.
Yep. I mean, year to date, we're already 107% in the insurance line, and I'm quite confused on why we're there.
Yeah, well, so you looked at the March numbers.
Having watched last year, I didn't do anything the year prior, but watching last year and not having budgets truly, and I'm hearing that the information didn't get to you all, that's just not okay. That's not how we budget at home. That's not how the residents of Plastow budget. We know how much money we're bringing in as individuals, and we need to apply the same standard. And so it's not mixing things up. In my mind, some people are very afraid of change. I think the more often we change, the more nimble we are, and the more people will acquiesce and say, okay, so let's look for cost savings of the 5% because it's a different leadership.
Well, plus different points of view bring ideas that might be out of the spectrum of normalcy that haven't been considered prior. Like Nolan brought many good ideas last year that weren't considered prior to.
Well, let me ask a direct question, and just to bounce off what Mr. Gladhill has said. What's your position on level funding the budget? Or having a caveat that says the budget's level funded maxed out at a 3% increase except for contractual obligations?
I'm not opposed to flat.
All I'm going to say is I don't think for the role of chair, vice chair, or even on the committees, any one individual's position is germane to whether they can do the job. Because everybody in this room has very differing viewpoints, which was evident by town meeting, deliberative, and how everybody voted. It's the capacity. I will say, I asked you if you were interested. I am very impressed with the level of fastidiousness that I watched Nolan have in culminating the data that he could pry out of the dead hands of anybody who would talk to him. So to me, that tenacity is something that we need. Anybody running something like this needs to have that tenaciousness and not taking no for an answer, but I'll shut up.
No, you don't have to, that's fine. So Richard, flatline budgets are absolutely fine. The biggest aspect, in my opinion, to the budget is human resources. COLA, livings, contracts. I think that makes up majority of the budget. So when a budget increases, isn't necessarily.
If they're contractually obligated, that's fine.
Okay.
But I'm talking about, everything else that's not contractually obligated. You would just say that what you had last year is what you get this year. And I'm just saying in light of the fact that the voters didn't vote for discretionary spending.
No, for flatline, yes. The only time there would be a variance would be health insurance, employee-related costs. Anything else, it should be flatline based on the economy. If there's any rising cost for maybe utilities or such, but short of that, flatline is fine. If your office supplies last year were 400, this year they shouldn't be 600, unless you are doing something different.
They might be 600. They might maybe going to be 600, but if we don't have the money to do it, then you might have to peel back.
So not to get off topic too far, but that would be up to the budget department, the department head to explain why.
To find where they can
we
take
need to do X, Y, and Z, and this is why. But as a bottom line, flatline budget for day-to-day operation, flatline is perfectly fine. The biggest concern is human resources, which is retirement.
Oh, I understand that.
Retirement, contracts, COLA, et cetera. I don't want to increase the budget by 10% just because. So, unless anybody has any other comments, we'll put it to vote based on the way the nominations were presented. The first nomination was Mr. Pelletier. All in favor of Mr. Pelletier?
Aye.
Aye.
So you have 3 ayes. All in favor of myself? I'll abstain. All in favor of Mr. Gladhill? I'll vote for Larry. So I can't vote for myself. Okay, Charlene. Now we need nomination for vice chair.
I nominate Larry Gladhill for vice chair.
I'll second.
All right, do we have any other nominations for vice chair?
I'm going to nominate Holly Patterson for vice chair.
Any seconds?
I'll second it.
All right. You nominated Larry. Do you want to speak to why you nominated Larry?
I just think it's a good idea. He's a good guy. He's involved. He understands the budgeting process.
Chuck, you seconded it. Larry, do you have any further comments?
Same thing.
You nominated Holly. Do you want to speak to as to why you think Holly would be a good vice chair?
Well, I think her educational credentials are second to none. I believe she has a master's in taxation. You're an entrepreneur, maybe one of many other types of businesses and things like that. Right. So as such, she brings a level of academic and professional acumen that I think we want to have on the budget committee. Right. And so far as that we're saying that, you're a CPA, Doug, that's obviously a big plus on the budget committee. But so I think a vice chair of equally impressive credentials should occupy the vice chair slot.
Okay. Thank you for your feedback. Mr. Pelletier?
I'm going to double down on what he said. I don't want to be a dead horse, but to speak to
Not a dead horse.
Yeah. I've also seen Holly do her own research, go above and beyond, get the information she needs to do to make decisions. So, and I think that's important because it's what I do as well. And I know that she can do that. So that's why I seconded Holly.
Okay, Holly, do you want to speak?
I'm
I don't know if you were ready for the.
No, I wasn't, but I
can tell by
will
your
tell you,
expression.
I am a dog with a bone, and if there's something that needs to be rooted out, I will find it. I've done budgeting when I worked at United Healthcare. I did budgeting for all of their HMO divisions, across corporate consolidations. So the budget process is well known to me,
Okay.
As well as how to cajole people to work within the numbers that they have, which isn't easy.
Right. I don't disagree. Larry, I'm sorry, I didn't give you an opportunity to speak. Do you want to speak to your nomination?
No, I mean, my position's still the same. It's what's best for town. If you all feel that I'm the best for the vice chair role, then I'm happy to take it. I think, to my earlier points, there definitely needs to be more discussion, more data, and more transparency. So,
Out of the procedures last year, I'm going to ask Larry this, Ms. Patterson, since you weren't on the committee last year. What would you be your first focal point to, as a budget committee, to be more proactive or to improve the process?
I think from an internal process, I think having meeting minutes and agenda items in hand by the Friday before
And all material,
is necessary.
which I think Nolan
You need
stated.
time to discuss, to get it in the 11th
Yes,
hour.
that's all the stuff I said last year. Correct.
is very tough. And then, it's
You shouldn't be walking in at 5:45.
very tumultuous things going on. And I get, things happen and that people get delayed, but, there needs to be communication on setting expectations. And I think that was really the expectation part was missing from a number of parties last year.
Well, not just that, but the opportunity to speak to the individual. Anybody who's asking the taxpayers for money should be before this board and the Board of Selectmen making their case. And if they cannot show up and make their case to any body, then they have no business asking for the money. That's a hard stop in my mind.
Right. No, we need to, yeah, I don't disagree. All right, so we'll vote on the order of the nominations. The first nomination was Mr. Gladhill. All in favor of Mr. Gladhill for being the vice chair? 1, 2, 3, 4. All in favor of Holly Patterson being vice chair? 4. So it's a tie. I didn't.
Well, then you need to freaking vote for being a baby.
I saw 3, I'm sorry.
I voted for Holly.
Thanks, I think.
All right.
Doug, if you're the chair, you're going to be the tiebreaker. man.
Decided to vote.
Yeah, I'm going to vote for Mr. Gladhill. Only because this is a second year on the committee, and he has great insight. Nothing against you, Holly.
Don't worry, Holly. They told me I didn't have enough expertise last year, and I guess I still don't.
you worry.
I think a year from now, there's going to be a different board completely, primarily. So it took me a year or 2 or 3 to figure out how to follow the RSAs and what the procedures were. So I didn't serve in a position until I didn't.
You're good. Don't sweat it.
Okay. But in general, so even though we have a vice chair and chair, everybody has a voice. My email.
Not true. It was, Mr. Chair, it was quite evident last year that I did not have a voice.
Right, so just because there's not the response you want doesn't mean there's a voice.
That's
But
kind of it. It's the proof's in the pudding, Mr. Chair.
we vote as a board, not as an individual. but everybody will be heard. This is why we have meetings.
This was over information, Mr. Chair, not voting.
All right, so now that we're past those two things, the next assignment is we need two members to represent the Budget Committee for the CIP. I think, Mr. Pelletier, you served on the CIP committee last year?
Yes.
Do we have any volunteers to serve as a CIP? We need one member and one rep. So, you want to be the representative?
I'll be the representative.
Do we have any alternatives? Anybody interested in being the?
CIP needs 2 reps and 1 alternate.
Yeah, you need two. You need 2 reps.
2 reps,
Which I don't think the Budget Committee has ever done, but.
We know what day they meet.
They haven't met in a while, but they should be meeting soon.
Do you know when they meet, Nova?
Well, we met before the election several times.
Is it consistently on a specific day of the week or?
You really can't do any meetings until the boards
budget.
provide what they're asking for their CIP. So expect it to fall within the same realm of when we typically have a high.
Towards the end of the
chaos.
fall.
Yes.
So, I mean, it's just once they validate the information that's on the CIP.
Sorry.
And there was some, even with CIP, there was some trouble getting information in a timely manner.
I'm happy to step up.
Be a rep or alternative? Be a rep?
Whatever. Either one works for me.
Okay, so Larry volunteers to be a rep. Any members want to be an alternative? If not, I'll be the alternative.
Okay,
I would-
who is the second person?
Right, Mr. Gladhill. I'm sorry,
Thank
Hollywood.
you.
I was going to say, I would like to serve as on the town report committee. That's why I'm not speaking out on this.
Oh, okay, no, that's fine. Yeah, so I'll be the alternative in CIP, and Holly volunteers to be on the town report committee. Do we have an alternative to the town report committee?
I'd like to be, please.
Okay, Margot, thank you very much. Did you get that, Charlene?
Yes, I did. Thank you.
Okay, sorry. So the next item, which we covered previously we covered it at various points early in the meeting, is reviewing discussion procedures for the upcoming.
We need a member from the Budget Committee for the 2 citizens petitions.
That's me.
Well, you're already going to be on it because you're a petitioner, right?
Yes,
So we
but-
should get another member. I know Margot has already put her name in. So I didn't know if, I'm just going to say it made sense for her to be the Budget Committee member. So we open up a spot for a citizen. Or
Okay,
she
so
can
which-
keep her name in the hat as a citizen. You guys can decide.
There is a budget committee person. I don't remember,
There's one
to
on
be
each.
honest.
So we need one rep.
Today was the day to end submissions, right, for the both of those, I think?
Yes.
I think it was today.
Yep. So one rep, and I would probably put an alternate to that in case you don't have someone there. So CP1 and one for CP2.
I'll put my hat out there to be for a representative for the Budget Committee.
Representative to replace Holly, and Mark to replace.
No, Holly's going to be on.
No,
the
I'm on
petition.
there because it's my
I
petition.
know, but to replace you from the Budget Committee.
Well, you need a Budget Committee. So we did a petitioner, I think 3
That's me.
citizens.
Yeah, so Richard
Board
wants
of
to represent the
Selectmen
board,
and
the
Budget
Budget Committee. is what- Yeah, okay. And Margot will be the alternative,
Okay.
the alternate.
Or she can keep her name in the hat as a citizen too, is what I was saying.
Well, out of the 2, I've applied for both, and I would like to be a representative from the Budget Committee on CIP 2.
Okay.
So maybe that makes sense then.
Yes, Holly, you have a question?
No, I
I
was
saw your hand up.
confused.
Yeah, 'cause,
I'm just.
The CIP, I'm showing that Nolan, Larry, and
Correct.
or the
Citizens
CIP.
petition, CP,
Right,
CP1,
Citizens
CP2.
petition, CP1 and CP2.
What is CP2? I don't remember the order.
I don't remember which one was which.
I don't either.
The hours are
4-day, open 5 days a week with CP2, wasn't it?
And the first one was the time.
Going to a town administrator instead of manager.
I don't remember the order. Thank you.
I don't even know if we need a CP. I mean, we used to be open 5 days a week. So I actually had an issue the other day on a Friday, and
That's when they always happen.
Saying that.
That's always when they happen. Oh, you get yours on
It
Friday
was
too?
Republic, by the way. It's like the 3rd time that I consistently have issues and I have no one to deal with them. It's
Good news, new trash company does their own customer service. And they're open on Fridays.
Oh,
But we're only doing 4 days a week collection because we're trying to do it quicker. But regardless, they have their own customer service. So
When does that contract start?
Not soon enough.
January.
they were
Not soon
very
enough.
nice. Our
Right.
trash company was very nice.
That wasn't doing nice. They just wanted more of us.
Oh, well,
I
yeah.
was just tired of talking to people from Florida.
So I think we covered CIP and Town Report Committee.
So yeah,
Can-
CIP1 was Richard. Is that what we said?
CP1 is you.
CP1, that's a town manager to town
Yep.
administrator. I'd like to be on that.
Margot said she
And then-
wanted CP2.
And Margot said she wanted CP2.
And CP2 is 5 days a week?
Yes.
Can we go back to one thing that was said earlier? Town email. I come from a very strict banking compliance. Who owns what?
Yep.
Frankly, I don't care what it costs. Every one of us should have a separate town email because I'm not giving you my email.
I don't know.
And I
no
think
one-
expedition of if I get hit by a bus or Margot or anybody else, any of us get hit by a bus, the town should be able to, the town manager should be able to grab our email. And it will also help for all of the information requests. There's one spot, there's no hidden anything.
I know.
This is Patterson. I've been asking for this for
It's okay.
So
Miss-
Tyler, do you want to speak?
Miss Pat. I've been asking for this for 4 years.
It's free. They can just.
I know they looked into it. There was a cost associated with it.
But it's about $100 per email from what, it's $1,000 for 10 emails.
Oh, wow.
The way it was presented to us last year.
Oh, wow.
I'm not opposed to it. I'm just telling you what was presented to the budget committee when Mr. Pelletier asked last year.
Our taxpayers are entitled to every single thing
Okay.
that is part of our email.
Yes, I don't.
Not entitled to mine.
No, I don't disagree. I'm going to start with Mr.
Who
Gladhill.
manages the IT process for the town?
Right. $100
Is that
That's a great question, Mr.
manager?
Gladhill.
No.
Because emails don't cost that much. I
Thank
pay
you.
$5 a month for my
Thank you.
Proton email.
Mr. Gladhill, we've petitioned to have these. We put it in our budget for planning board, and we still haven't had it. It's been months and months. I've never seen an IT company that can't do an email in an instant.
I mean, I think we need
What
to.
the name is. I know it's been said. We've talked about it.
So
but
Tyler, I don't know if you want to bring that up to Greg or the budget, the board of selectmen.
It's obviously not.
We had a
It's
workshop
not. It's
last
not a
night.
concern.
We discussed a lot about IT and different items that could be addressed and changed, and we want to look at different
Because
softwares.
what if I go rogue and do something horrible?
Well,
The
no.
town wants to shut me. It's not like I'm thinking worst case, but that's the point, isn't it?
Right.
Then if I quit being on this committee or a selectman quits or what have you, the town should have the ability to shut it down right then and there. I shouldn't be able to purport myself as a committee member of the town via email. How would anybody really know if I send an email from my personal, if it's me acting truthfully as a member of a committee or not? It's just wrong.
No, I don't disagree. There's all kinds of, for example, if there's a right to know, and every email is requested from a personal email account, God forbid a lawsuit, anybody could be exposed to share. Mr. Brady had that issue when he had to share his cell phone.
It's a cost of doing business.
I'll speak
Simple.
with our new chair that we now have and see if
Who's the
that,
chair?
Liz
Okay.
Costa. I'll have that discussion with her.
Please.
I support, not that's on the agenda, but I support Holly and Nolan and Larry, I think so,
Okay.
for various reasons.
I was just
I'm
going.
sorry, Katie, go ahead.
Gmail is free. School board, you just create your own Gmail account that it's separate from your personal. There you go. But I mean, if we're talking about wanting to
Secrets.
there's no secret. You can write to
It's-
know.
but it-
I have the
I'm
floor.
just saying, if it's
speaking. I've
managed-
listened to you all talk. But if you all keep going on about the fact that you want to flatline budgets and you want to drop it by 5%, but at the same time talk about and say you don't care how much it costs, there's a problem.
I don't
I'll
care
speak to
what the
that because this-
security of our information and the taxpayers' right to every single thing that comes to an email to me on any committee I work for in this town. The taxpayers should have full access, no question, hands down. End discussion. So if the town can't put that in the budget, then we have a big problem. Then we shouldn't have approved a truck.
Tyler will address it, and I support it.
Yeah.
Just to amplify that point, it's not a luxury. It's a best practice. All right. So a Gmail account is not a best practice. It's not. In fact, it's substandard.
Okay, no, I'll let.
And I think when
Thank
we
you, Tyler.
we were interacting with legal counsel one time, all right, another committee, they were quite taken aback at the fact that we didn't have blast out email accounts. So,
I can see the downfall for not having it. I don't disagree.
well,
with you.
I'm just saying that the legal professionals agree with
I've
the
been there.
assessment that you should have
I understand.
those emails.
And I will say that pretty much every person, and I'm going from memory, and I could be mistaken, that's sitting at this table has said they want transparency, and that's what that
Yes.
email provides. It provides transparency to the public. It also gives the public a way to contact individual members of the board that's not ushered through the chair. So if there's stuff coming up that they're concerned with, they can have conversations with board members. Maybe they think they're sympathetic. Maybe they're not sympathetic and they want to talk to them about it. This is a best practice. And the fact that we're still talking about it after I brought it up after years is kind of ridiculous.
I don't.
And Tyler, I will happily pay for it myself if I have to. Anything so that you don't get I'm not giving you my access to anything of my personal hard stop. If it costs me $50, so be it.
When you bring it up to the, Board of Selectmen, get legal's input.
Okay.
Okay?
Will do.
Thank you. Thank you for those comments, everybody.
Thank you.
Any other procedures or changes that we didn't do last year? I mean, obviously, other than transparency information, I know that's the biggest hurdle we're trying to get. We're trying to get information more timely. I just shared March's information, which last year at this point, we didn't have March's information.
I mean, Mr. Chair, is it going to be, I don't know I know the town must be using accounting software. And I don't know, they should be able to export us Excel sheets that we can search through our computers. We shouldn't be sifting through mounds of
PDFs.
paper.
Our time cards are done on paper.
What?
Some people, there's departments that have to use paper to do time cards, right? Some of the systems.
So are we
don't,
doing
we do have
accounting?
systems that do for certain departments, but not everything's one conducive because of how old some of the systems are, and to upgrade's too much money. So
Who do we
that's
use
what we're
for
trying to
payroll?
work through, is looking at, is there cost savings way that if we combined some systems to cover everyone, or
Have you done a
more
study yet?
cheaper options? I mean,
Do they do payroll in-house?
So we
Doug?
do we have a-
I can't.
Do we have do we have some in computer?
Payroll
But I know
agency?
that there's like timesheets that need to be done in order, for mileage and stuff, like the rec director, she will have her time and everything is written down.
T&E is
So it's
one
not an
thing.
Excel sheet that easy.
T&E is
All
one
right,
thing.
so
Just
If
pointing out
we're
that
if we're accounting, it should be, you're
I'm
handing
sure-
you're handing in paper. I'm handing in my physical forms, but then it should be transcribed into another software so we can track the line items. Like
Just a
Right.
yeah, it's
Just the point
to
of
say
order
that doesn't
that-
exist is insane.
how the town operates. It's only limited to the budget. Can we please get back to that?
looked at it,
This is,
reported system
and
wants some
with all
money,
with all due respect, this is the budget.
So
no, so
No, you're trying to talk about how they're operating. It has nothing
No,
to do
I'm
with
saying
the
we
budget.
need, if we're going to talk about budgets, we need the information to talk about budgets.
That's fine, but if the town does paper, it's not within the budget's purview
So
to say,
I-
hey, change it.
so I
No,
think
but
this-
it is within the
I
budget
think this would be
committee's.
I think that would be a better conversation when Greg's here to talk about procedures.
And why isn't Greg here? I mean, it says right in our procedure that
Because it's
he's,
a reorg meeting. It shouldn't be that big of a deal.
can you let him-
Excuse me, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah, point of order. So
No, may I please be excused? When I was coming in here, I get hit with a wind gust and something's
you could
wrong
be
with my
excused- you could
eye
be
and I
excused,
need to
Margaret,
go
yeah.
to the ER.
So unfortunately,
Do you need help going down, Margot? Are you okay?
I got you, honey.
Greg had a medical emergency. He couldn't be here tonight. He told me earlier today.
Okay.
Unfortunately, somebody in his family got
I mean,
hurt.
because this was, again, going back, this was a constant issue last year. And it says right in our procedure that where he's supposed to be present. And you rescheduled the meeting several times because you said people weren't going to be present.
Well,
So like, I guess if it's an emergency situation, I can understand, but like going forward, he should be here consistently.
I don't
I'm
disagree.
going to speak with the chair about that. That's a conversation that's started and we will continue to have. And
One second, Larry, I want to speak first. So Greg reports to the Board of Selectmen. So our job is to bring it to Tyler's attention to address Greg. He should be here. I don't disagree. It's hard to speak about police, fire, highway department, town procedures when those people aren't here. Because then it's just all hearsay. We're making speculations on things we don't know. The person, whether it's IT or payroll, the person that has the knowledge isn't here to get any insight as to why. Larry, you had a comment before I address Ms. Patterson?
I wanted to bring up another procedural change, but if I'll yield.
I'm just going to continue what you said and go back to what Tyler said in the information. So if we bring full circle what's being said, Nolan wants the information in a timely fashion.
Yep.
Paper payroll is absolutely absurd. No, we cannot tell the departments what or how they need to do it, but it is incumbent on them to not be behind in getting the information. There's accountability. You don't get to say to the federal government, sorry, it's April 15th, but I've been doing my payroll by hand, so I can't file my own tax return. No, there's deliverables. Like, if you can't do it with what you're doing, it's time to take a look under the hood and do something different.
Right. Yeah,
Very simple.
I don't know, I mean, at the Board of Selectmen, I don't know how often they could even address or acknowledge.
It's been a continuing conversation. We were looking at different software a couple months ago because one that we currently had for protection price skyrocketed, so we had to restart reevaluating. So we're speaking with a company, they're a value-added reseller. They do IT. They have access to lots of different programs. So we need to find something that's the best fit for us for the cheapest price that covers the most.
So why stupid question, why are we doing payroll in-house?
We shouldn't. That's stupid.
Again, it could be outsourced, but there is time sheets for certain departments that could be done on paper. So
They're right here. They're done right here.
Yeah, but then they're scanned, put into the computer. But I was speaking to the point of you saying it's on an Excel sheet.
Yeah.
That may not be easily accessible in that Excel sheet. That's more what I was speaking to.
Just an aside. There might be some efficiencies or not inefficiencies in how things are done. But when we're talking about information isn't being provided to the budget committee because of inefficiencies. I mean, I think, making things acrimonious, we weren't provided information, and the information wasn't provided timely, and that's not a function of outdated accounting systems and things like that.
But asking for information, Richard, shouldn't be acrimonious at all. There's there's a deliverable in our job, in your job.
And to be fair, sometimes things are submitted to the Board of Selectmen much more efficiently than to the Budget Committee.
Well,
again, I mean, we're in here a lot. We have discussions. We sit with Greg a lot. So
But information doesn't trickle down.
it doesn't trickle down the way you would think. It's not ideal.
So this information the Board of Selectmen has months.
I wouldn't say we have anything months before you guys.
It's not presented to the Budget Committee unless we ask for it.
No. No, but I think that's what we want to have more transparency of having you guys get those monthly updates, like the March one. Right now, let's get an April one for you guys. So each month, you guys can start to track and see patterns and get that transparency, right? And compare month to month.
Yeah.
I mean, we were told last year that we can ask, and it's not
It doesn't do any good in December if it happened in July.
I'm sorry, Nolan.
I said we were told last year that by the lawyer that we can ask for information and they don't have to provide it for us. So I hope that the Board of Selectmen will do that this year. I sincerely hope. At the end of the day, this is a town, but it is a business. So like the Board of Selectmen are the essentially the CEOs of this business. So, if a business is being run in an inefficient way, it is the board's duty to rectify that and get the information flowing. Like you said, if it's not trickling down to us, the citizens don't even have that level. We're asking for information for a level so we can do business here, and that's not even available to the citizens. So there's no way that people in town, if they're really following, are going to have the right information to make an educated decision. So we really, really need to change that.
And not to beat a dead horse, but if we were fully staffed, like the capabilities that we need to be, there's a couple open positions that need to be filled, admins and whatnot. That takes a load off so we can get things quicker. Again, the selectmen are trying to step up and to help to say, what can we do to fill some gaps if needed so that we can get this information?
Mr. Gladden, you had a comment?
Yeah, so when we start thinking about the operating procedures, there's two things I'd like to see changes. One is I'd like the budget projections to come to us before it goes to the Board of Selectmen. Because I thought it was kind of reverse role of the Board of Selectmen voting on it and coming to us. right? We are the lower constituents. We are the ones that are tied, to looking at the budget. And it really should be a budget coming from us to the Board of Selectmen, but I don't know what it's going to take to correct that process because it felt like a reverse.
Well, it is. It's the budget comes from the budget committee. I mean, so what?
But last
But
year,
it
they
did-
voted for it
Right.
before we did.
I think that to speak to that, Mr. Gladhill, because I've gone over these RSAs and I've read so many RSAs, and I hope if you're now vice chair that you will read all the RSAs, which are 32.5, and they actually go into the 690s. There's an adjunct. It doesn't make sense. It should all be in one area, but that's besides the point. I believe it says that, and I could be mistaken, I'm just going off of memory, that there is a procedure and it goes to the Board of Selectmen first to be approved. But if you look in that RSA, it does not limit us. And I brought this up last year. It's in 32.5.
You guys get final say on the budget.
We have final say on the budget. It's basically just saying that they agree with the budget before we work on
But
it.
we had not had a chance to review it. Like, it was very shotgun, very minimalistic.
Last year was very tight, even from my prior years. That
we've
was
got
tighter
to-
than it
But
was
that goes back to
any
the
year.
information timeline. A lot of that was because we didn't get it till
In
October.
regards to that,
one.
one thing I
Getting
want,
that-
I'll agree.
one thing I want to see in regards to scheduling is I would love to see a department head here every month defending their current spend and looking at their trajectory and then having that discussion around the 5%. Because one thing that I see in our operating procedures that I doesn't sit well is, the town manager functions as the department head presents the budget. I'd like to see that line struck. I'd like to see the department heads here to defend their budgets
Agreed.
and not have the
that a
town
motion?
manager defend the budget.
I'll call on Nolan for a
To
series.
speak to that, Mr. Gladhill, I mean, that was my vision if I was chair, was that we would be building these budgets with the department chairs
Yes.
prior to
Correct.
the end of the season where we're just getting thrown information. You were here last year, we were coming in, we were sitting down, we're picking up folders. There's no way to process that amount of information.
that was
And it's
that,
sat
I
right
just-
there?
that was September through.
Yeah, I feel you. This thing was this thick. I cleaned it out before I came here today.
what else is in my bag.
Yeah. So, yes.
So we got to tighten that timeline. We need to set some cadence down.
And I'm going to sound heartless, but we all have roles outside of here. And I understand when having people fill the seats that are open, vacancies can wreak havoc. But frankly, that's why I'm on salary. I know it doesn't matter. I have to come in and get the deliverable done, and it damn well better be there or I will be out of a job. So I'm not applying a standard to anyone or any department that I don't have to answer to myself. And I really think that to hear the fights and the lack of information that I was not privy to in watching the meetings, I'm very sorry that that's what this group had to go through, but it shouldn't be.
It was unfortunate last year. Jay, who was the Board of Selectmen rep, had to speak on behalf of the town because certain representatives weren't here, whether it was the police chief or the town manager. The Board of Selectmen, which I've talked to several times this year, has promised me that they're going to do a better job making sure the town's better represented than what we've dealt with last year. So I'm trusting my Board of Selectmen to do their job.
Yep, and we are on it. That is going to happen.
And then in regard to that, Mr. Sherman, is there an opportunity for us to have joint sessions with the Board of Selectmen to kind of talk about some of these pain points so we can collectively work to better that process?
I don't think the Board of Selectmen will have any be opposed at all.
No, absolutely. We could
It would
schedule
also
something
save on the
to
department
either
heads
call it a
having to
workshop
come
if
in
you'd like,
multiple
or
times.
however we want to do it. It could be a workshop or a meeting. I will talk with the chair on the board and bring it up and say, is there time? Do you guys have a timeline of when you think that would be the best time to do it? Do you want it sooner than later? Do you want July?
Labor Day.
Before Labor Day.
Well, just a point about that. I think, having a joint session where we're just being presented with sort of a PowerPoint vision is not, I don't think that's what we're talking about,
No, this
you know what I mean?
think without department heads, I think this is just your budget committee here with the Board of Selectmen having a discussion on budgets.
I think taking
I think you'd like to see the department heads more
Yeah.
than just that once right before the budget.
Right. I think, because what we had was, again, it was very high level generic, like, we're a police department and we do certain things. And that's not a budget presentation. That's just sort of a meet and greet with a
And
department.
our operating procedure says we, as a budget committee, are to see the budget 3 times before we vote.
Right.
3 times. That didn't happen last year.
Last year was very tight.
So
I think it did overall.
We didn't even meet to sign the budget.
yeah, that was a whole.
Well, that's another process.
Well,
But what I meant
we could have
by
done it at that meeting, but we adjourned.
What I
So.
meant by the working sessions, I would love an earlier session to kind of take a look at the vote last year, kind of set the precedent, set the tone for the year. Like, look, the voters don't want to spend more.
No, and
How do we get there?
No,
And collectively come together on that.
I don't want to bash the town with my limited 5 years of experience here. But there's been too many times, again, I don't want to bash the town, where I get an email at 12 o'clock on Tuesday, something has to be signed by the end of the day on Tuesday or Wednesday. It's happened to me every single year, 5 years in a row. And 4 out of the 5 years, I have not been in town because I unfortunately take a vacation in January.
Before tax season.
Right, but it's unfortunate when you get an email saying you need 5 board members to sign this budget by end of the day
Doug,
Friday.
if that happens once, okay, shame, I know. The second time, by number 3, that's a
happened every
non-negotiable.
year I've been on the budget committee.
We
And that predates the current manager, so it's not a manager problem, it's a town problem.
that was on the agenda. We adjourned. We had another meeting scheduled, which was canceled. So that was not a issue of timely, not being timely. It was an issue of not being dealt with in time.
Right. So,
That's very different.
so Tyler, you have a big burden.
I got a
Have
list.
fun, buddy.
I got a list of
So go ahead, Mr. Anthony.
Yeah, I just have a question. I mean, whether or not we do it tonight or not, I mean, I think the board should probably at least, have a motion
Yep.
that we vote on to kind of express what our vision is. Let's say if we were to say, Board of Selectmen are going to be putting together a budget, maybe the sense of the board is to say, again, I'm just putting it out there, level funded, except for contractual obligations or something, or level funded plus up, not to exceed 3%, and then contractual obligations. So that's a sort of a framework that we're all working in, and not saying that here's your 10% budget increase, and then we're going to have a fight over like, where are you going to cut that? It should be like,
Or actually break it down, where's the 10% coming from?
or I'm saying the board could, a sense of the board, if we're saying that we don't want to be passing on a 10% budget, then we should say that we want to have a framework that
These are our
we're
goals.
looking at, like a 3%, nothing more than a 3% increase.
Well,
I think the perfect time for that discussion would be that joint meeting. Ideally, I'm going to try to talk to the board and see if we can't do something for June or July.
sooner than later.
June or July. I'm going to talk to them. We can offer you guys.
I mean, just in
Again,
terms
I
of
got to talk to them,
reductions.
have a joint meeting and have that discussion. Say, can we all come up to a goal? What is your goal? What's our goal? How do we get this done?
But just but coming out, an expression of intent, so that we're not sitting here listening to like, well, that $300 for printing paper, we can't reduce that because what if there's like a bunch of paper jams and the election thing, and you need that $300? I mean, those were ridiculous
No,
conversations.
but to that point, Mr. Anthony, the $300, are we going to RFP? Where are we getting the sourcing from? Are we challenging the contracts? I got a feeling that we have a lot of single source contracts that are not being challenged, and we're just rolling it just because it's how we do
I
business.
mean, that's a great conversation for the Board of Selectmen.
Yeah.
There are protocols on who gets when these proposals go out and when they don't. Depends on the dollar budget and existing contracts is the way I understand it. Mr. Pelletier, you raised your question.
I love the idea of having this joint meeting, and what I would say is, before we sit down for this joint meeting, we should have up-to-date numbers on everything. And I'm not saying I haven't seen what you guys approve. I'm guessing you guys approve it every month with your expenditures and whatnot. And are those broken down into line items, or are they just numbers? So like when you approve everything every month, are those is it just a block number, or are those broken down per line item
There's
for?
lots of information on there and stuff that ties to certain line items, but there's descriptions of
I'm only asked because we've never seen that.
So-
for IT, right?
So Tyler, the email I sent you today is the one I sent you gentlemen yesterday, or the whole board,
Okay.
or a couple days ago.
It was a little while ago.
The March
Oh,
expenditures.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think that was through March, right?
That was through March.
Through March.
The end of
So,
March,
so is
April
that,
one.
is that what's presented to the Board of Selectmen?
Or is it more?
Very similar to that, exactly. Yes,
Okay,
it's
so what?
formatted differently.
Is
but
that,
the
is that your
same-
consent agenda? Is that what we're talking about, your consent agenda?
Yeah, on consent agendas and stuff.
What is a typical time frame for the end of month close? So May,
2 to 3 weeks.
April is done, so by,
The last month and a half, 2 months is the software. The IT company's been in here working with town clerk because they've had issues. But
I'm going to say,
typically, I would say 2 to 3 weeks.
I don't care. What's the drop dead month end close? And if it's the 20th of every month, then that is the Board of Selectmen's job, whatever it is, to hold
To follow through,
accountability.
yeah.
I'll find out what the date is. I don't
mean,
know the specific date off the top of my head, and I don't
Yeah,
want to
yeah,
speak.
no. And you know, you want to be reasonable because you want the numbers to be right. So you don't want to close on the
So-
5th
so for
because
example-
then you're just jamming crap through.
So for the example, the information the town manager sent through March, it was almost complete with a footnote. I still have a couple accounts to reconcile.
For March?
He sent it to us after April 15th, so maybe April 12th, April 20th, somewhere around the April 15th deadline. So he was 2 weeks out, and he still had accounts to reconcile. It was the footnote for him regarding March's numbers.
But
So-
in those footnotes, did it provide details on what they were and what's outstanding?
Right.
I don't believe he didn't pinpoint what accounts needed to be reconciled.
If you recall, last year there was an issue with the
Unitil.
cable company or
Unitil.
the power company, right?
Power company. It was a power
He was
company.
transparent. He told us, look, there's some billing stuff.
Yeah.
We know, like, that's the stuff we need. We need to know what's going on behind the curtain.
Wouldn't you
And we
rather
need him
give
here
him
to do
5
that.
more days, but know that, okay, so if you can't do it on the 15th, we'll give you to the 20th, but then
Do it right.
everything better be in.
I don't disagree. So,
I mean, I'd rather
Set
give him a bit
expectation.
more time so that he has it to do it properly.
no, so Tyler has a lot of homework to do.
You do.
Welcome to the committee, Tyler.
Do you need another piece of paper?
So I propose we have a meeting in about 4 weeks to follow up on this conversation, to hold Tyler accountable, because I like Tyler. And also at that point, review whatever financials are available from the town manager, and hopefully have the town manager here to answer on these questions. And at that point, any other procedures we want to modify, we can, unless somebody else has items to bring to the table now before that next meeting.
The only thing I would ask is that to what was being said, I think a number of people have said it, as far as the tenor or tone from the taxpayers and the mandates that they're kind of making in our face. Don't do this. We're had enough. We can't afford. Just like our organizations that where we work outside, we all have goals that are set, you know, in our jobs. And I have to deliver 10% expense reduction, you know, and I have a litany of deliverables that I have to meet. And I think, to me, having a tenor like that set from the feedback from the voters, from the last, you know what I mean? So like, to what Mr. Gladhill said, you know, hey, the voters are sending a clear message. We don't have this, we don't have that. Here's the broader understanding. And from there, then we can set, I don't want to go in and say, let's cut everything 3%, 5%, 10%, whatever, or grow it that. Does that make sense?
Oh, no, it does, and that's why it's important to meet more frequently, to make sure the Board of Selectmen can manage the manager, so we can get information accurately. But at the end of the day, Greg reports to the BOS, so it's the BOS. And honestly, I've talked to at least 4 members of the BOS, if not all 5 of you, who want to make that a priority this year, because it was definitely a deficiency. Again, there was admin shortage at the town hall, so I don't want to blame one person individually.
It's behind us. We can do better. Let's do better. That's
No, but like Nolan's addressed many times, it's, you can't walk
Do
into
we
a
can
meeting
try to
with
help
28 pages
Make it
and say,
better for
okay,
everyone.
here's cemetery, let's vote. We really need the information well in advance of the BOS. Now, to be fair, Nolan, last year's the first year, we waited 2 weeks to vote on a budget, not 24 hours. Not a big improvement. The year before, it was BOS voted on this last night, here you go, guys.
There you go, have that. Mr. Gladhill, do you want to make a motion about your recommended change to this?
Because these are our
Is this
procedures,
the
they are
right time to do it,
modified.
or are we going to have a procedural meeting?
I suggest we have a complete procedural meeting
I think we should.
in 4 weeks, only because you and Chuck are new to the committee.
Fine.
And I'd rather take your time, review all the procedures, and make any comments at that point so we can address them all.
Is this the full operating budget? Because this seems very short. I feel like it's longer
It's on the
online.
website. I think there's been amendments, so I think
Okay.
that's the,
Because I'm looking at this going, some of this doesn't look familiar and some of it looks like it's missing.
It's 3 pages if you print it out, but that's because it's forward back. It's back of the page. And then this.
I only have one
So,
page.
I have it printed in my book. It's 3 pages because
it should be on the town website too, Larry.
Yeah, no, because it feels like it's longer on the town. Maybe it's the font or spacing.
And some things haven't
One
been
page,
adjusted.
right? Double-sided.
Yeah.
And then this
And then
one.
this is the.
Yeah.
That's it.
So for example, I think it was last year, the year before, Richard, we had to address attendance policies because the policy was written 15 years prior and it's completely irrelevant and useless. But it took 15 years for somebody to acknowledge it. So,
Just one thing, Mr. Chair. The other thing I'd like to bring up is just watching from the sideline and kind of getting my feet wet last year. One thing that this board needs to do better and collectively is have better quorum with each other. There was a lot of heightened discussions, let's put it that way, last year, that we're here to work with each other, not against each other. And I feel we need to keep that level of professionalism and respect in the room. And that's one thing I definitely want to recognize. And I'm going to work on, and I will work on calling that out when I see it as well.
all right, thank you, noted. Any other business we want to discuss at this point?
Just one ad hoc.
Yes, sir.
Alibi, that's it. Do we have a second ambulance yet? Because I think probably the last meeting of the budget committee, it was asked when we could expect to have that
With the
ambulance.
manufacturer, and we're waiting for them to repair it.
I was told the end of March. Is that,
I don't have
we
the
would see-
answer. I don't know right now. I'll ask, but I don't know.
Has there been a reduction since we're only running one? Has there been a reduction in labor costs? Are we not? I'm just saying.
I would have to go in and analyze
We're
that.
running two, and we haven't been
I
running
don't want
one
to
for a
speak and say
year.
it has been, or I haven't looked at it and analyzed to say, oh yeah, we're down.
Yeah, because I mean, because
I believe what I had recall from that discussion was that the chief was getting a vehicle from another town to help fill in those gaps.
Well, that's what he's saying. So because we're not staffing the other one, he's asking if there's been a reduction
There
in
should
labor
be.
costs.
I think we
I
may
don't
be
wanna say yes or
staffing
no.
it ourselves. And
It's a good point. I'll look into it.
No, I think I asked that last year, and I asked if if they respond, that revenue goes to another town. So we've been missing revenue for a year.
But if
So-
you aren't carrying the expenses, then okay. But if you are,
Well,
then
we are.
that's a problem.
I mean, I could be mistaken. I believe we are. I don't believe any of the expenses have changed, and we've been not running an ambulance for a year. You would think that we would see a change in staffing, but I
Timely reporting
So Ty-
will answer that.
Tyler,
had discussion.
when can we expect answers from you? Before the next meeting in an email, or should we wait till next?
Yeah,
meeting?
I'll get you guys an answer on that before the
Great.
next meeting.
What about the email thing? Who's doing that? God, you do have a lot.
I got a good list going.
Well,
it's going to be an interesting next meeting. I'll be watching.
The town manager. But I don't disagree when it comes to many levels that Holly, as you mentioned, email is very confidential. You don't want something in the wrong bucket that can be called into subpoena or court, God forbid.
No, I will say that I have run an organization through Gmail, and it is an organization with an IT admin in it that has access to everything and that can turn off and on accounts. It's not as expensive as people are portraying. So I'm not sure.
Which is different than running your own Gmail. That's a managed Gmail account.
Right.
I mean, I pay for my own Proton account because I don't want you all to have access to my personal email.
Right. But you're serving the town and the taxpayers. Therefore, it should be a fixed.
No,
hard
right.
cost.
So, I mean, not
So
to,
when you leave, the next person who takes your slot,
and
or you
They can have my Proton account at that point.
have it.
and we had that problem 2 years ago when chairs changed. There was actually 2 to 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Nobody had nobody on the budget committee had access to the chair email.
Oh, God.
And so I don't know where it went. It took me 2 to 4 weeks to get appointed to that email after the chair. I think it was when Mr. Zuka stepped down.
it shouldn't take that long.
You know, we all are
Right.
professionals
I mean, just
outside
saying.
of here as well. We should apply the
again-
same.
But again, we shouldn't be doing payroll on time cards. So we'll leave it at that. Unless unless there's any other comments tonight, I'd like to meet in about 4 weeks. I'll send an email to figure out what the best time is.
Can we just set the date now? We're all here.
Yeah, I don't,
I'd rather just do that.
Calendar. I need both.
I'd rather not go back and forth and,
so that way, June 2nd is exactly 4 weeks from now, if that works, or would you rather do June 9th as a committee?
I'd rather do earlier, and then hopefully we've got maybe a joint meeting with the select board sometime later in June.
would anyone be opposed to doing a meeting on the 26th of May?
No, it's the day after,
Day after Labor Day, or Memorial
Memorial
Day.
Well,
A lot of people travel, that's all.
it's also Cinco de Mayo today, so
Well, where's the
Did you make the
tequila?
reservation at Flacco's for us?
no.
I could pull some strings there.
I'm
think with the
not
holiday-
opposed to 26. I know we probably all have Monday off, but I'm going to be back at work on Tuesday, so it's not.
whatever's best for the committee, I'm fine with it.
I don't care on the 26th either.
The only thing I have baseball, but I can
Yeah, I have baseball, but I make it work.
That's fine with me.
26th,
May 26th, same time, same place.
same bat channel.
Excellent.
All right, and hopefully Tyler can do a little bit of research in advance.
Well,
And maybe we can get time on the books with the select board in June.
Tyler,
Yeah,
thank you
because
for
this
stepping up.
will just be procedural, and that'll give you more time to do
Right.
what you need to do, and then
right, try to get, this isn't with the Board of Selectmen. She's saying that if we do the 26th, to try to get a meeting in June with the Board of Selectmen.
right. We'll just
Yeah,
go over
that's
the
what I
pictures.
meant.
we can
Yes.
hope maybe.
And then
with the
hopefully we'll
creed
get-
on the budget committee
Right.
to pass to the board of selectmen on that.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay, so I'll see everybody on May 26th.
The citizens petitions, I guess we'll just
Today
wait.
was the last day for people to put their names in.
Yeah.
So next Board of Selectmen meeting's next
How are
Monday?
they being selected? Do you know?
I don't know.
By paper.
Shut up.
Random draw.
Random draw and a hat.
Well, I mean.
I don't know. I don't know how they're being.
Random? I mean.
I don't know how many names are even in yet because today was the last day.
Right, okay.
All right, so unless there's any other comments, we'll call this meeting to an end at 7:36. Thank you, everybody. Very productive.
Did they win?
Yeah, I think.